Well, ABC News reporter Martha Raddatz insisted that President Biden never encouraged migrants to come to the border. Watch this.
You talk about open borders. I don't think I've ever heard President Biden say, we have an open border, come on over. But people I have heard say it are you, are former President Trump, or Ron DeSantis. That message reverberates in Mexico and beyond.
Chad Wolf joins me now. Okay, Chad, this was one of Biden's main messages on the campaign trail in 2020. He specifically said, you can come on over. How is she blaming Republicans for this?
Well, I think it's startling. At the end of the day, though, it doesn't really the impact on whether the president, the vice president, or whoever talks about whether the border's open or not, that has little impact. What has the biggest impact are the actual policies down there on the border, and whether a migrant who illegally crosses that border gets to stay in the United States or is removed and sent back to their home country. That's what matters at the end of the day. And what we know is that the vast majority of folks are being released into the United States. So whether the president wants to admit or any other media personality wants to admit the border is open or closed, the reality is that the border is open, that the majority of folks that come across that border, just look at the sheer numbers and the metrics, get to stay in the United States. So you can talk about messaging all day, but the reality is what it is, and the facts don't lie.
And those metrics are not just about fentanyl and U.S. citizens. Even migrants themselves are dying. We had 800 migrant deaths in FY 2022. That was a huge increase in number of deaths. It is now freezing, by the way, in El Paso. It went down below the freezing level last night, and the Central American immigrants in particular aren't dressed for the occasion. Some of them are probably going to be dying getting frozen to death. So, I mean, this is a humanitarian crisis as well. And Democrats claim that they wanted to fix the humanitarian crisis during the Trump administration. It's much worse now.
It's by far worse. Any type of metric that you look at, the Biden administration continues to break records, and for all the wrong reasons. Whether you look at the number of illegal apprehensions or you look at the number of migrants that are dying, whether in the desert or on that river, astronomically high numbers. The number of assaults on Border Patrol, the suicide rate among Border Patrol agents and officers, it's almost the highest it's ever been. And it's because they have been facing for now 23 months a crisis that has been so large that's been hard to imagine and hard to describe every single month. And they don't see any end in sight. In fact, they see Title 42 going away, and they don't see policies, procedures, or plans being put in place to try to control that border. So for all they know, they have another 2 years of a crisis staring them in the face. So across the board, the Biden administration is taking the wrong approach to this. You need an enforcement strategy, and you need to send a signal to the cartels and the traffickers and the smugglers that it's not going to be business as usual, that you're going to have a different enforcement posture, and that's going to result in getting this crisis under control. But until they're willing to do that, unfortunately, we're just going to see more of the same.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't want to forget the Border Patrol agents, the number of suicides going up tragically. They feel like they've just lost everything that they worked so hard for, and tragically it is leading to some of them committing suicide. Finally, I just want to ask quickly, we only have about 15 seconds on the state of emergency declared by Texas. Are they within their rights to declare El Paso a state of the emergency?
Well, they are. And frankly, the mayor should have done that months and months ago. El Paso has been almost ground zero for this crisis and the number of illegals coming across. And I don't think that he could ignore reality any longer. But this should have been done a long time ago. I don't think it was for politics. And that's unfortunate because I think the people and the residents of El Paso need some additional help. When you just look at the images, they are, again, at ground zero.
Yeah. And speaking of zero, it is zero. It's below zero centigrade anyway in terms of the people freezing there. Chad Wolf, thank you very much.